I'll train you right to spin fire. The NFT and analyzer. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your meme coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree. He'll show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures flow.
Well, hey, why don't we turn that camera on? That helps. Mega GMs, guys, welcome to the Swarm Report. Man, we're getting deeper into Virtual Season 3, and I got to say, the deeper we get into it, the cooler projects we're seeing. I mean, really, we're getting these, I just say we got these much more matured projects that are coming, and there are some of them tailored towards, like, the virtual ecosystem itself to support the ecosystem. And so today I'm excited to have the guys from Bionic DAO on the show who have an agent coming out this week, and I got to tell you guys, first off, welcome. But I read through your description and it hit me quickly. I'm like, I like this. I get the need. It makes a lot of sense. And I'm excited to see where it goes and the kind of adoption it gets. I wasn't sure about a couple things. We'll get to them, but you know, if it's a new token pre-sale platform, if it's a little different twist on this entirely, I can't wait to dive into this one, guys. But I think we got a spicy one here today. Rich and Dom, I'd love it if you guys would introduce yourself and we'll get into what you are building.
Yeah, hi Hudah. Thanks for having us on. I'm Rich. My background in crypto stems from 2017, where I was director of projects for an investment fund. And then after that, I worked at a launch pad called Launchpool, where we raised over $20 million for around 40 projects over the course of the 2021 cycle.
Cool. And yeah, I'm Dom. My background is in product development, broadly speaking. Spent 20 years doing that. Shipped Web2 products for a bunch of international brands and a bunch of startups that reached over 1 billion total monthly active users. More recently worked pretty heavily in fintech, which is what led me into Web3, building trading platforms for a private blockchain platform for a consortium of banks to trade debt products. And then I've been in crypto for about 4.5 years now, full time, working with Rich, and worked on a variety of other projects.
Dude, awesome. Yeah, like I was telling these guys just before we went live, like you never know with a team, you don't know what you're gonna get, right? We've got so many anonymous teams, and so like even when I read a project description, like again, sounds cool, but I don't really like usually buy into the idea first because I don't know if the team can actually do it. So right off the bat, when you meet some people and then you hear the background instantly, it's kind of a different story. You kind of take the project a little more seriously when you know it's people who have built before, and you know, even early right now into this chat, you kind of get a sense you're capable. But we'll get a little deeper into this. Guys, fire off questions at any point too in the chat. Anything you have for this. If you hadn't read it yet, I mean, go read it, please. We're going to be talking about it, but go read it. I have a feeling you're going to see why I'm excited about it. So you guys have Agent Zero coming to virtuals in 5 days. I'm trying to think. Does that put it at hang on, Sunday? Okay. Monday launch. Oh, I like it. Okay, we'll start off the week strong next week then. But yeah, tell us about, if you could, what Agent Zero is. And I know it's just one like kind of pillar in your ecosystem. But yeah, let's get into what you're cooking here.
Yeah, so Agent Zero represents the kind of agentic elements of their offering. You've been able to kind of see this in a number of different formats. So on our currently we kind of score projects pre-launch on the virtuals platform, so that is kind of all automated with AI, and yeah, so that's kind of one. That's aiq.bionicdao.com/dashboard. You can see all the projects there. So we score them on kind of 7 different categories, which include go-to-market, product market fit, competitors, the team, and the kind of sector vertical that they're in, as well as how their social reach as well.
Yeah,
so that gives us a score. So that's kind of the first thing. But we've also use Zero as a character. So she's kind of fronts the platform, and she does interviews with various projects. So she interviewed Lily, which was quite a cool, like two AIs talking to each other. She interviewed the Pop team and the Arbus team, and there'll probably be some more to come as well. So there's a content creation. There's some of that's longer format, some of that's shorter format. So there's the content creation element as well. And then, and the final kind of piece in the pillar will be the ground zero, which is the launch pad, where we're kind of bringing together the data and the scoring that we've got, creating content for teams as well to put out, get the message out about what projects that we are raising for are doing. And then ground zero kind of aims to fix some of the problems that we see in the virtuals environment, which namely is that projects kind of struggle between token launch and product market fit, use, token utility.
Yeah, and just to jump in there, I think Rich is being way too modest about the capabilities of the AI system that we built in the background. There's an entirely autonomous system which can pick up virtuals projects from minimal information. It does research on them, it does research on the team members, it can then pull in analytics from Twitter and all of the kind of community engagement stuff. Sorry if there's some background noise, by the way. I'm in just for the listeners, I'm in a hotel lobby in Cyprus because I've been working here for 48 hours with some of the team to finish the platform off, because it's kind of midway between where everyone's based. But yeah, we've built out an incredible level of AI tooling. I think way beyond most projects. So it does all of that background research, like Rich said. It can create autonomous content, whether it's audio, it's video, and all of that kind of stuff. So we're pretty bullish about the whole system. And just to provide broader context, which you alluded to, is that we see Bionic as having a longer term roadmap than we're here to provide systems and support and infrastructure for anyone who wants to launch a startup in the Web3 space. So the Zero token is our main focus now, but in the future there will be much more to come, and that's why we've spent the last 18 months or so building out some really sophisticated stuff that I've not seen anything like elsewhere.
Yeah. So this has been kind of a long time in the making, right? 18 months you've been building out infrastructure here. And I'm assuming back then it wasn't with virtuals in mind, but at some point did you see that was the right fit and you kind of start pushing more in that direction?
Yeah, that's it exactly. It's about that product market fit, and looking around the ecosystem, the more wider the Web3 ecosystem, is certainly an area. There's a lot to be said that's really, really good about the virtuals ecosystem. From the KOLs, a lot of the KOLs that are in the ecosystem are generally honest and kind of have integrity, and the virtuals team themselves, and along with the launchpad that they've created, there's so many great things there. It's something we wanted to get involved in as well.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that as well, I think Rich and I, obviously Rich with Launchpool, and me in working with a number of different projects, we're absolutely passionate about early stage startups. We are ultra focused on what their needs are, all of the pain points, how they need support. So we're aiming to deliver a product that kind of fills some of those gaps, and in terms of the virtual ecosystem specifically, ensure that we can kind of create a kind of more seamless experience for projects, for their investors, and ensure that they've got lower risk, they've got a more sustainable business model, they've got a much more sophisticated understanding of what product market fit means.
Nice. Okay. So then maybe we'll break it down like this. So when I first read the description, my biggest takeaway was like a mechanism for projects to raise funds, right? Instead of having to sell your tokens, and that comes down the road, right? But a project can raise funds this way. And I know that's a need out there. I know, because we're working in this space, and we're talking to a lot of projects, trying to partner with projects. And I certainly noticed a lot of teams haven't reached their token unlock yet, and they don't really have it to work with. So again, as I'm reading the description, I'm like, boom, right there. I understand every team out there really does need that. Now, as you were talking here, I realized the scoring system, which is in your description white paper too, but I'm like, oh my God, we've got people out there that are trying to make and perfect, the research part into a project. They're trying to build that tier ranking, that scoring system. I'm like, my God, they have that too. Again, these multiple pillars that are there, and there's some other things too, but that first standout to me was the fundraising aspect. Can you guys get into that? Is this another, token pre-sale option for a project kind of competing with Genesis, or is there no, I'm assuming there's tokens involved, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so just kind of walk through it a bit, or in fact, no, let's just concentrate purely on the token raise. Yeah, we identified, as you have, the projects need some runway. They can't rely on fees in those first few months. So we're just giving them that option. We want to kind of do that in a transparent manner and in a fair manner that that is beneficial for both the projects and the investors. So the raises will be kind of milestone led. So there'll be two raises: an initial one to pay for scoping out, like full proper scoping out of technical, of go to market, of product market, MVP. So the investors, when they come to, so we anticipate that being somewhere between $2,000 and $10,000. And then once it's all costed out, then you can raise the amount that you've costed out. So the investors can invest knowing that this project can get to this milestone without having to rely on unreliable fees, really. So it just gives investors a reassurance that this project should get to market, which is another area where we kind of we feel it's some of the projects are a bit underserved. And compared to some of the other options out there, I think some of them give too low evaluations on the projects, which kind of makes it difficult then for the projects. They're going to have some tokens in circulation at very low value, so people will take profits, no doubt, and that won't be good for later investors. And so where we're aiming it at is a kind of tier 2 of a virtuals valuation. And what we're sort of, our promise to projects is that we'll do enough work with them and get them into position that they should then raise at tier 3 on virtuals when they launch on virtuals. So yeah, we are fully virtuals focused with this. So yeah, it's we anticipate all projects to then go onto virtuals after we've worked with them.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, I love that it's not cutting out the the Genesis kind of community entirely, right? It's you do it here. It's also going to launch on Genesis. It gets that community support too. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here to help support all of that. Not there's no element of us trying to compete with the Genesis side of things.
I mean, Dom, the teams needed this too. We all knew very early, and it's why Virtuals launched this new, Genesis V2. We knew the teams needed more. They just needed more options, more flexibility. They need to be able to raise more. But even V2, and I love it, but it's not perfect. There's not a one size fits all for these projects. Even with those 3 tiers, like some teams just have different needs and have investors. And again, we need that variety. And so you're here giving them that extra option, that different variety here. How does what does the process look like, right? So a team comes to you, they bring their white paper. Actually, do you even help them develop their roadmap too? Is that part of this, or should they come with that complete?
Yeah, well, they can come to us at any stage, and we'll have an onboarding which we'll release very soon, so projects can start applying. And in that process, we just ask them for some kind of minimal stuff, really, or as much information as they can give us. So it might just be, a Twitter account, a white paper, and a deck. But they might have gone a lot further and have a go-to-market plan. They might have an MVP already. So we can kind of cater for all. Obviously, there's more work involved in those that are less developed. So yeah, so they upload their information. We use the AIQ kind of backend to score that and see where they need help. And then we are more kind of advising on best practice and possible, this is best practice for go-to-market, and you might want to think about doing this, and this. These might be your first step to test whether this channel is better or this channel is better. But to then actually go and do the work, that's up to the project to do. Yeah, so does that answer the question?
Yeah, and we will, yeah, we'll provide them with some resources and kind of our experience. You know, like I said before, Rich and I have both worked with, I mean, between us, probably hundreds of startups over the last few years. So yeah, we're very well attuned to what the, you know, what common mistakes are, where the gaps are, but also very aware that you've got, I mean, back to your point, is that, you know, some projects may have a white paper. Some projects may be two kids who are working out of their bedrooms, but that doesn't mean their idea is any worse. They just need the right support to kind of get it moved along. And that's kind of the whole sort of, yes, part and parcel of what we're trying to achieve here is to accelerate promising early stage projects and give them the support they need to make them more successful in the virtual ecosystem.
It's so cool because I know there's people out there with great ideas. I think I have great ideas. Everybody's got their ideas and you want to be able to build. And it's like, unless you have the money to actually get yourself off the ground and started, you can't do it. And right, you could come to virtuals and you could try to do Genesis and, you know, ultimately have to sell tokens and rely on token, you know, fees from people trading to be able to fund it. And this is it's a whole different option. It gets me excited for just giving people the chance.
But great ideas are great ideas are brilliant. And they're the kind of, without no pun intended, you know, that can be the genesis of amazing projects, but execution remains 90%. I think that's where we're aiming to provide support and funding and structure to.
And that's where the scoring system comes into play, right? So and I do want to get into that too. You know, the milestone unlocks for the teams unlocking funds. It is really, really interesting here. When a team comes to you, what are they doing? Promising you a percentage of their token? Are they paying something up front to get your services?
Yeah, so the business model on our side and for the token holders, so we take a fee of USDT that we raise for them, or USDC that we raise for them. So that's kind of for our running costs. And then for the stakers, we also take some token, some 1% of the token supply, and that is passed through to stakers and supporters of the community.
I dig it. Okay. Okay. If a project comes to you, if someone is launching with you, is that I want to think of the best way to ask this. Is there some kind of stamp of approval you think a project has by launching with you? I would assume you vetted them to a degree, or it's the AIQ system that's vetting them, right? The score is going to show maybe the quality potential of the project.
Absolutely, yeah. There's both of those really. So yeah, we would require projects to KYC with us. You know, we're not going to necessarily tell everyone who you are and where you live, but certainly, you know, we need to validate that they're real people. And then yeah, it's the AIQ element, the scoring element is that's exactly what we're aiming for, is to be a seal of approval that to act as a kind of transparent layer for projects to gain the trust of investors, and for investors to trust those projects, to trust that, you know, they have a go-to-market plan, they've tested their products, and they know that they've got product market fit, and they know that they can deliver on the milestones that have been set out.
And I think just to add to that a little bit, I mean, one of our kind of core principles since we set out with Bionic has been complete transparency, and we've built alongside the AI scoring system, we've built I think probably the most comprehensive set of dashboards that give investors confidence around projects that I've ever seen. I don't think there's another platform out there that is as strong as ours in that sense. So all projects will, from an investor perspective, when you log into the platform, you'll be able to see every aspect of what they're doing. So it's, you know, what their kind of social attraction is like, what KOLs they're using, and what kind of impact they're getting from those KOLs, what their GitHub shipping cadence is. You know, this is really, really important. There's a big lack of that level of transparency, I think, in Web3 as a whole.
Big time. So this also gives the community, right, some of the transparency from the team. They have those milestones that they then expect the team to meet. So it gives the, you know, the community more confidence in those teams that they're betting on, which is great too. How does the AIQ scoring system work? I know there's seven metrics, 7 categories. These are scored on. Can you give us some details on what those are and how they're measured?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can go to the website if you wish, and we can have a look at them there. aiq.bionicdao.com/dashboard.
Dot what after Bionic DAO?
.com.
One more time.
Com. There
we go.
/ yeah. So if you want to click on one of those projects there, Waveform, for example, and then just scroll down, and just on the left hand side there, view all scores. They get the score for 100 view all scores.
Oh my god, dude! It just clicked with me. Okay, I've seen. I'm trying to remember who it was. There's been people tweeting about this for a while. I just connected some dots that you've already been doing some of this stuff, and people have been sharing this on X. And how long has the platform been live at this point?
We've been running it for some months, but we've kind of we've sort of, you know, I think arguably been a little bit below the radar because we wanted to really stress test the AI scoring and make sure that we had a great platform that had you know, decent product market fit. So I mean, the kind of core tech behind this has been around for I don't know, 6-7 months, and we've been, in the last sort of 2 to 3 months, we've been actively scoring virtuals projects, and now we're kind of ready. We've got the investment platform, in fact, ready sooner than we expected it to be. So we're going to be launching that pretty soon, which is partly why we pushed the token launch back from today to Monday, because the core investment platform is going to be ready sooner than we expected.
Yeah, this is wild. It's way more robust than I was thinking, and I think it was Cheyenne. If you're familiar with him, I think it was Cheyenne that's been sharing some of your.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's a good advocate. Yes, if you just scroll up slightly there, and a bit more, and just above where the tokenomics are, that window there where it says view all scores, those are the different categories. And you get a breakdown of why, and you know, a bit more information on each.
Yeah, and just to reinforce, there is zero human input on this stuff. You know, beyond us ensuring that the model was as trained as effectively as it possibly could be to give the right results over the last few months. So this is an incredibly strong demonstration of the capability of Agent Zero, and you know, the sort of underpinnings, I guess, of all of the stuff that we're going to be announcing over the next few months.
I love this. Are any of these scores dynamic? Maybe these ones right here aren't, but kind of along the way, you know, as they're getting through their roadmap, if they don't deliver on something, is there something on the dashboard that shows, you know, like dings their score?
Yes, 100%. Yes. These will be refreshed. We haven't decided the precise timing, but you know, on a kind of daily or every few days, as projects, you know, sort of demonstrate in front of our community that they can ship and they can, you know, start to get community traction, for example.
Yeah. Wow. Again, just a lot of stuff clicking. I'm already feeling like I didn't budget my points right, because I definitely will be getting into this and going as hard as possible. I love everything about it. Okay. Can projects who've already launched come and work with you retroactively, get some funding, and still meet some like new objectives?
We hadn't thought of that, to be honest. I don't want to close the door to anything, but at the same time, if a project's already got a token out there, it's I'm just trying to wonder what they would sell to kind of raise capital. Yeah, essentially, if they had, you know, if they wanted to pay a fee and come on board, yeah, they could do that. I think we'd be open to that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just to sort of, in terms of sort of bigger picture, Bionic's mission statement is to be the launch protocol. So we're always going to be open to hearing about, yeah, ways and means and ambitions of projects to launch, you know, new products, new businesses, and so on. But yeah, there's the Ground Zero platform is, I guess, targeted relatively tightly at early stage virtuals projects solely. That's our entire obsession right now, and ensuring that they've got the support and the structure and the underpinnings, and you know, they close the gaps that they might have, so they can launch as successfully as possible and be as sustainable as possible as projects.
Yeah, great. Now, a project could they choose to launch to go through here with you guys and then launch not Genesis but do a prototype launch?
Yeah, if they wanted to, that would be fine.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Again, just give them flexibility. You know, people have got their
Yeah,
own.
as long as they can have the tokens that they've sold on our platform can be distributed to us to distribute to investors. We don't really mind which way they do it.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Now Agent Zero. Let's get into the agent, what the agent does, and then ultimately your token and utility there too. So let's start with Agent Zero. What is this agent going to do for us?
So I mean, let me start with the sort of technical side, and then Rich can chat about the token a little. I mean, Agent Zero is we've kind of got an AI substrate that basically does all of the automated agentic functions that underlies the Ground Zero platform. So Agent Zero does all of the project research, all of the project scoring, all of the project assessment ongoing. You know, at the start when they apply, actually autonomously manages those kind of the sort of gating of, you know, you can start with raise 1, you can begin raise 2, and then there's some add-ons there with a kind of more character focused element, which you've seen, I'm sure, in terms of being able to do video interviews with other guests, which we've done I think 3 or 4 of as of now.
Where can people see those, by the way? Is there an Agent Zero X account yet?
There's a Bionic DAO X account, which all Zero's interviews are published on. Yeah, there's some and there's some of the short form stuff there as well. There's a bit more fun.
Okay, we'll dig through that after and see. And so then the Zero token. Do you have utility for it? Is this just a, you know, kind of a way to get a little exposure to the project? Kind of, hate to call it a meme coin. Is there a utility to it?
Yeah, so out of the utility, we will aim to develop the sophistication as we go along, but right out of the box, yeah, if you stake the token, that's how you kind of gather points to access the project raises that we will do. We want to develop that into a reward system as well. I think, you know, we touched before that virtuals have got a lot right in their launch pad, and I think the point system, staking, just trying to use the tokens to help projects or to incentivize people in the right way around launches is great. So yeah, we will probably mimic some of that, stake the tokens, gain points, and then also rewards around behaviors that we want to incentivize as well.
Okay.
And we have got there's a lot we've not yet announced. And that's deliberate, and it's not because we're trying to kind of hide it from the community, but it's because we want to time it right and we want to execute properly. So there will be, the utility will evolve fairly significantly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it speaks to your experience that, you know, you announce these things at the time where they belong, right? Where they have impact, and, you know, makes sense to me. Is there, okay, so right off the bat, the utility sounds like it's gated access to the pre-sales. Did I hear that correct? And if so, is there a threshold or a certain balance people need to hold?
Yes. So there will be a tier system which we'll publish very shortly, which will explain in some detail about how that will work. But yeah, essentially, the longer you stake for and the more you stake, the better deals you'll get access to, or the earlier deals you'll get access to.
Okay. So this is the tier system you were speaking about. You'll earn points, and I'm sure that unlocks your tier that you get access to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Okay, cool. Any projects already lined up that I'm sure you can't announce yet, but already some token launches, deals that you have in the works that are coming maybe soon?
Yeah, well, our actual public project application process doesn't go live for a few days. That's going to be Monday, where there's a form that projects can start to apply. But obviously, we've been working hard behind the scenes to do a bunch of kind of reach out through our networks. There are things we can't announce yet in terms of collaborations with various blockchain foundations, because we see foundations as potentially a kind of a good source of leads on that front as well. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're feeling pretty confident in the number of projects that are interested and starting to apply.
Yeah, really, really cool. Okay. Any plans to branch out outside of virtuals here? Because again, I think the platform just sounds so interesting, and I could picture, again, people outside of virtuals wanting to use take advantage of this too.
No comment on that
Okay.
right
I'm
now.
gonna take that as a yes, man.
I want to reinforce this. I'll say no comment, but we are laser focused on the virtuals ecosystem right now.
Yep, I dig it. Cats, I'm there. I'm telling you, it's like the spidey senses went off reading it. They went like parabolic just again from the chat, right? Meeting them right beforehand throughout this chat here. I really like it. I really like it. Again, I like Cats and I have chatted a lot about this. I like something like AI Rocket. I saw the need for these other pre-sale options. I saw it. I don't think there were any that to me felt perfect. And in fact, some of them I saw them and I'm like, I kind of love it. I kind of hate it. I don't know why. I just don't know that these are the best options yet. And I didn't have any specific reasons, but when I've read through this and heard you guys talking, like, this feels like that version of it that makes sense. That's the most comprehensive, that I think has that potential to really work. It could become maybe that go-to pre-sale, companion for Genesis. So I like it a ton. Cats, I'm curious for you, drop it in the chat, but why secondary is, I think it's because you spent all your points, but I'm curious about that. And then Moonship, 7% for the public. That's the pre-sale, right? The 7% is the allocation for Genesis pre-sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Is there a token lockup? I didn't see it on here yet, and I don't know if I'm just not seeing it or if there is none.
Token lockup on what? Sorry.
So you do the Genesis sale and you define a period where tokens are locked, dev can't sell, and
yeah, they're all locked there. It says it's just the liquidity in the public sale that isn't locked. All the other tokens are locked for varying periods of time, but none of them are immediately available.
Okay, but the public sale, so can the community sell those right away? They don't get that penalty?
That's right, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's spicy too. Again, everybody's just looking for a way to have an edge in this market, and I like this little tug of war you have now, because projects are starting to launch this way. No lockup for those public sale tokens. So then the community gets to pick. You lock in your win if you got it there. But man, if you really believe a team, if they've really won you over, go stake those bad boys, right? Take part in the ecosystem, and the choice is yours. And I feel like we've been missing some of that choice. We didn't see the incentive on one side or the other, and now we get it on both sides. So it gamifies this in a different way, and I love it here. Let me see what Cass is saying here. That's kind of part of it. More transparent, way more transparent. In fact, every step of the way more transparent. And it's a points thing. I'm with you there. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, if there's nothing else that shows up on the board, I'm probably all in on something like this. Again, I saw the need for it. This sounds like the version I was waiting for. So really like it. Cool. Question 2. Go ahead, and I'll get my question after you.
No, go for it. I was just saying, appreciate what you were saying.
Yeah, no, of course. So I think projects get these tiered unlocks for their funding. Can you speak more on that? Because I thought I even read somewhere, and I might have this wrong, but there's like a second phase where they can kind of maybe do an additional raise, and I think I read it wrong because saying it sounds weird, but
it's right. So I think we just mentioned it earlier that there's an initial raise which is quite small for kind of $2,000 to $10,000, which just pays for some scoping works, so that we can then present the results of that scoping work to investors. So that should, at the end of that scoping work, you should have a go-to-market plan that's fully costed, product market fit roadmap that sort of allows for testing of product and feedback and iteration on that product. The MVP should be technically laid out, sprints, roadmaps, milestones. And if I missed one off there, is that yeah? So it's to focus both the team and the investors on those requirements that we think go a long way to ensuring successful launches and successful projects.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been wary of sort of referring to ourselves as an incubator, because that's not what we are. But the objective is to take projects through staged milestones and stage fundraising to get them market fit, I guess.
Yeah.
is the
just to add to that, and then after that initial raise, that is the first raise, a very relatively small raise. Once you have the information then and it's costed outright, it's going to take 30 grand to launch this, to do decent proper go-to-market launch. It's going to take another 30 grand to finish the MVP, to get them to a point where they can start generating some revenue. And so that's $60,000. That's what the raise is going to be. That's what people can invest in, and they know then that the money that they've put in will be used to get the project to where it needs to get to, and there won't be any, money put in the back pocket of various service providers or whatever. It's all accounted for, used properly, and how to the benefit of both the project and the investors.
Great. Yeah. So then if a project maybe fails to hit a milestone, and I don't know if these are if there's a time on it, right? We're going to deliver X by this date. Any type of penalties, or I'm just kind of curious how that plays out if a project, rugs, ranging from rugs all the way to just is behind schedule, and how long of a period they have to hit those milestones.
Yeah,
I mean, I think part of the answer to that is that even sort of pre-token launch, there's still a market here that we're doing, and and markets are, I think demonstrably the best judges of success or failure. So yes, the answer is that projects will continue to be benchmarked. We'll continue to report on them. I think it all goes back to transparency and providing investors, or whether they want to invest or they're in a sort of consideration phase, giving them the most transparent information possible so they understand the readiness of that team and that project to launch and go on to raise more funding.
Yeah, I'd like to just add to that as well, because I think it's important. So let's say that a technical MVP will take $30,000 in 3 months to do. The funds are released on a sprint basis. So they do sprint 1, and if they hit that milestone, then the investors vote to release money for milestone 2. So if a project fails to reach that milestone, it may be for a perfectly honest reason and a reasonable reason, but then they have to then pitch to the investors. So it's not you failed, you can't go on, but it might be that we failed for this reason because we came up against this problem which no one foresaw. It's going to take an extra 2 weeks to get around this problem and fix it. So we'll come back in 2 weeks and get and try and get the next batch of funding for the next milestone then. So what that does is it incentivizes founders to hit their targets, hit their milestones, but investors, they could lose some money that they've already put in here at that point. So they are incentivized to both check up that the projects are doing what they say they're doing, but support them as well, because if a project fails, then any money that they may have put in, they are they're liable to potentially lose. So it should create, we hope, and we intend that it creates a kind of symbiotic relationship where there's an understanding and a relationship between investors and projects that is helpful to both sides.
Nice. Guys in the chat, I'm just curious, how are you feeling about this? I'm feeling a kind of way. I am. I love it. I love it. I think this is awesome. I think, predictions, why not? I think you're looking at a tier 3 launch next week. Really easily. I want to know what you guys think. Again, get in some questions if you have any here. And maybe final question here. And we've touched on all of this, but if we can do it maybe one more time, roadmap. How this is going to look day 1 when it launches next week, versus how it's going to look, even by the end of the year. And then we can even go further out, a year or 2 from now. How do you picture the platform looking?
Yeah, so when we launch TGE, as Dom said, we should have the project onboarding and people are able to look at the site, the website and stuff. Then shortly after that, once we have kind of finished auditing contracts and smart contracts and finished the kind of finer details on the platform that will be released, we envisage that won't be very long after TGE. As with all software development, until it is slightly liable to move slightly, although we are, near completion. So I don't want to put an exact date on it, but we envisage, probably no more 3 weeks, perhaps, something like that. Dom, you could probably give a better idea.
Yeah, about 3 weeks. I mean, like I said earlier, part of the reason for pushing back our token launch a few days is that we wanted the token launch to be closer to the platform launch. So yeah, 3 weeks or so, I think, is maybe even a pessimistic estimate. But like Rich says, we don't want to put a precise date on it. A bit beyond that, we're committed to continuously evolving the platform. There's a bunch of underlying tech that powers the platform, not just the AI tooling, that gives us the capability to evolve quite significantly and at quite a rapid pace.
Yeah. And then further on from that, it's kind of developing or iterating on what we have to just to make the platform even better. So even deeper data analysis, better AI tooling for founders to use and take away their pinch points, pain points even. Lots of founders, when they're developing projects, especially if they're developers, want to focus on developing their project. They don't want to have to spend too much time on their go-to-market planning, etc. So the more we can develop our tooling around there, the more help that we can provide, then that just, again, it just reinforces the success that we want for projects on our platform and on the Virtuals platform.
Dude, really awesome. Katz, so this brings up a question. The number of tokens you need to stake. Again, I know you don't have those right now. Will you have those tiers before TGE or the pre-sales live next week?
Yeah, absolutely. Expect them before the close of business on Friday.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. I think that's the probably the biggest thing that moves, gets people moving and knows, again, what is it? How hard do they want to go on that pre-sale, or getting those tokens afterwards?
Yeah,
guys, it's really great. It really is. I'm a fan of this. So I wish you luck on the launch next week. I don't think you need any luck with it, to be honest. Any final words for anything we didn't cover that you just want to make sure people know ahead of time?
I mean, I think all I'd end with is anyone in the audience who is an aspiring founder who thinks they've got a great idea, who wants to launch something on Virtuals, then, heads up. We are absolutely obsessive about supporting the launch of new projects and ensuring that people who maybe haven't got quite enough of a chance to launch things in a way that's the most successful, have to.
Yeah, and I also just want to say there is a campaign running on Arbus, and if anyone wants to join that, there are, shall we say, Easter eggs. There's not just the tokens available. There is some, you can start building up those points for access to the platform, or perhaps some, early Easter eggs on the way.
Interesting. All right, I'm going to drop this in chat real quick. We'll drop a link to Arbus here. Again, my understanding of the project changed a lot just even over this hour here, right? Where I thought it was just, I don't mean just a pre-sale platform, but I thought it was a pre-sale platform. Now it's like it's a scoring system. It's this curated kind of group of projects, and they're vetted to some degree, which is incredible. It is the pre-sale access. But the final thing is pretty massive too. Again, it's keeping projects, on target. You get those milestone updates, it's very public. You have those expectations. It keeps those teams moving along, and you very plugged into them delivering on those. So all around really complete package. Can't wait to see this live. Guys, drop those links in the chat there to the Arbus campaign, to those details on X. Look for those Easter eggs. I'm going to go dig afterwards here too. But go follow Bionic DAO over on X. It's Bionic DAO _. We'll drop that in the chat too. Any other socials you guys have related to this?
We have a Telegram as well, if it's available from the Bionic DAO website.
Got it. All right. So then head over there to, I lost it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, bionicdao.com. Just head there, get TG there. Dig into that site. Again, it's really, really impressive. Geez. And then lastly, guys, of course, follow us at the swarm _AI here. Rich and Dom, dude, I appreciate you coming on. I don't even know what time it is out by you guys, but great chat, great product. Thank you. And by the way, open door always, right? I'm going to start showing the scores on the show as we go and dig into Genesis projects and what you guys are doing. So we'll be following on closely. But anytime you have updates, come on the show. Let us know what you're doing.
Cool,
I
man.
really appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's been great chatting to you. And yeah, thanks to all your community as well for coming and taking the time to find out what we're about. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks guys. And yeah, just hit us up if you're out there, you're an aspiring builder and you want to launch something, then do not hesitate to get in touch.
Or any feedback on any element. We're always open to hearing what the community think and any ideas that they have for improvements.
There you go, fam. Bionic Tau. Different guys.
Cheers, guys.
Awesome. Guys, we have Skynet on the show tomorrow. We'll be live 9 a.m. Eastern time. Have a great day. We'll see you. Goodbye.
See ya.